The Adventure of the Hidden Cottage. It was a warm summer morning when I, Emily, found myself on an unexpected adventure. I had just turned 18 and was spending the holidays at my grandparents' house in the countryside. Their home was nestled in a small village surrounded by lush green hills, thick woods, and winding trails that seemed to go on forever. The morning began like any other. I woke up to the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting through the house. Grandma always made sure there was a hearty breakfast waiting on the table. After eating, I decided to go for a walk in the woods, something I often did to clear my mind and soak in the beauty of nature. Grabbing a small backpack with some water, a notebook, and a sandwich, I set off on the trail behind the house. The path was shaded by towering oaks and pines, their leaves forming a canopy that dappled the ground with sunlight. Birds chirped cheerfully, and the soft rustling of leaves in the breeze created a soothing symphony. As I wandered deeper into the woods, I noticed a narrow, overgrown trail that I had never seen before. My curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to follow it. The trail wound through dense bushes and under low-hanging branches, eventually opening up to a small clearing. To my astonishment, there stood a tiny, weathered cottage. Its walls were covered in ivy, and its wooden roof was patched with moss. A garden of wildflowers surrounded it, buzzing with bees and fluttering butterflies. The sight was enchanting, almost magical. I hesitated for a moment, unsure if anyone lived there, but my curiosity pushed me forward. I approached the cottage and knocked gently on the door. There was no answer. Peeking through a dusty window, I saw a cozy interior, a fireplace, a wooden table with chairs, and shelves lined with books and jars. The door creaked open as I pushed it lightly. It seemed the cottage had been abandoned for years, yet everything inside was clean and orderly, as if someone had left in a hurry but planned to return. I stepped inside and felt an overwhelming sense of warmth and comfort, as though the place was welcoming me. On the table lay an open book with handwritten notes in beautiful cursive. The pages were filled with sketches of plants, animals, and maps of the surrounding woods. One map caught my attention. It showed the village and the forest, with several marked locations. One spot was labeled the Whispering Pond, another the Ancient Oak, and a third simply Treasure. My heart raced. Could this really be a treasure map? Excitement surged through me. I decided to follow the map and see where it would lead. I traced my finger along the paths and noted the first destination, the Whispering Pond. The map indicated it was about a mile northeast of the cottage. Leaving the cottage, I headed in the direction marked on the map. The woods grew denser as I walked, but the path was relatively easy to follow. After about 20 minutes, I heard the gentle sound of water. Pushing through the last few bushes, I found myself at a beautiful pond. The water was crystal clear, reflecting the sky and surrounding trees like a mirror. Tall reeds swayed along the edges, and dragonflies zipped across the surface. I knelt by the water and noticed a small stone carving of a bird near the shore. Picking it up, I saw an inscription underneath, "Listen closely." I leaned in, unsure what I was supposed to hear, when a sudden breeze rustled the trees. For a moment, it almost sounded like whispers. Goosebumps prickled my skin, but I reminded myself it was just the wind. The next spot on the map was the Ancient Oak. I followed the trail, weaving through the woods, until I came to a massive tree. Its trunk was so wide that it would have taken several people holding hands to encircle it. Its gnarled branches reached out like arms, and its roots twisted deep into the earth. At the base of the tree, I found another clue, a small wooden box. Inside was a piece of parchment with a riddle. Where shadows dance and secrets play, look for the light at the break of day. Puzzled but determined, I studied the map again. The last marked location was the one labeled treasure. It was farther than the others and seemed to be near the edge of the woods. I made my way there, my excitement growing with each step. The journey was longer and more challenging, with steep hills and rocky terrain. By the time I arrived, the sun was beginning to set. The location was a small, open meadow with a single stone pillar in the center. The pillar was engraved with symbols I didn't recognize. I circled the pillar, looking for any hidden compartments or clues. Then, as the sunlight hit the pillar at just the right angle, I saw it, a faint glimmer near the base. I crouched down and dug carefully with my hands. After a few minutes, I uncovered a small, metal box. My heart pounded as I opened it. Inside was a journal and a few old coins. The journal belonged to someone named Eliza, who had lived in the cottage over a century ago. She had been an explorer, documenting her discoveries in the woods. Her final entry read, "To whoever finds this, the greatest treasure is not gold or jewels but the journey itself. These woods hold stories, mysteries, and beauty beyond measure. Cherish them and let their magic inspire you." I smiled, realizing the truth in her words. The adventure had been the real treasure, a day filled with wonder, discovery, and a connection to the past. As I made my way back to the village, the stars began to twinkle in the night sky. The memory of that day stayed with me, a reminder that sometimes the best adventures come when you least expect them. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content. Thank you.